What's up, everyone? Thank you. So there's some hiccups. Well, basically, I was not able to get proper connection, so it got disconnected. How's everyone doing, man? 3 of you, 8 of you are watching. 8 of you. Just do me a favor, help me to do a sound check. Make sure you guys can hear me, and if you can hear me, please help me to write in a comment. Yep, let me know if you are here. Hello, Marco. How are you? Yeah, Marco. You asked me whether is it chicken rice or duck rice, right? I prefer fish soup. Fish soup. Yeah, I'm more like a seafood person. I seafood, then I get agitated. So seafood more like yeah lah, seafood lah. Prawn, lobsters, and all that. Hi, Joel, Amsha, how are you? Sheila, how are you, man? Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Once again, help me to like and share, please, because I just want to get this out to as many people as possible. So one of the things that we have started to try and do is to have this regular product review. I realized that a lot of times, while I was trying to sell items at the store, we do have a lot of queries about people asking for first discount, second about certain product that they are not too sure about. So I've decided maybe to spend some time on Sunday evening, right? Especially when the whole entire week is finally over, to yeah, you're in tune for the barbecue song. That's right. Hello, Azmi, Chehok, how are you? To actually create videos like that to talk about certain product, and then hopefully, of course, it can generate some sales and revenue for us. But more importantly, is to share certain product information to everyone who's interested. But I mean, I think that it's not definitely not suitable for you guys, because either you already have a mask, you are playing, I've known you guys for many years, but more importantly for people who are new. So what we will intend to do is to actually have these videos really available on YouTube, on Facebook, so that if anybody stumble upon this kind of videos, right, then they can make a clear decision on what they need to do. So how's everyone doing, man? Been a while, haven't seen a lot of y'all for a long time. I think the last time I saw Chehok was almost 2 years ago. No, more than 2 years ago, actually, right? So yeah, kind of like miss him for a while. Yeah, so when you're free, come by, have the, come by to the field. Yeah, doesn't have to be doing events, right? As long as like a normal Sunday, if you're popping by, I think you stay very near only, right? You stay in Clementi, right? So I mean, it's like less than 15 minutes away from the field. So pop by when you're free, or we can go and have lunch together, do a little bit of catching up. Yeah. So for all of y'all who are watching, Marco, Amsha, Joel, Sheila, Chehok, and Azmi, thank you so much for being here with me. Yeah, come back for the hot dog. You didn't even come back for the hot dog. My hot dogs were waiting for you. My juicy and hot, piping hot dogs. Yeah, like those big hot dogs were like waiting for you. You didn't even show up. I was preparing like German hot dog. I know Chehok was going to be here. Prepare German hot dog. Never show up. Yeah. Anyway, I think the hot dog was something really uh, refreshing because we see that everybody ate something during the event, right? So that was good. And we had leftovers as well, right? The lady who were helping us with the hot dogs basically packed them into plastic bags for people to do some takeaway. Amazingly, right? Amazingly, during the last event, we had a lot of people who show up, right? We have, if I can remember, we have like Haziq who came, and then we have Shark who show up, right? And then what else? What else do we have? We have a few lah. We have and then wives of players who came, right? It was almost like a small mini gathering, and then we had nachos. Yeah, I think nachos were our pretty last minute inclusion. We thought we wanted to have hot dogs so that we can fill everybody's stomach, but at the same time, we know there'll be people who doesn't really want to eat like hot dog, right? So why not have some chips so that you keep your mouth going, munch on something, keep your mouth busy, at the same time replenish some energy. I think that was pretty good. So in future, I'm not sure if we are going to do that for our future events, but I think the response is pretty good. So if we can have a good amount of teams attending, and then it will make more sense for us to cater for this external party to come in and prepare food for us. And in fact, we engaged them. So the two schoolgirls were here to actually help out with the booth, prepare the hot dogs. I saw some of y'all like trying to make fun of the two girls. We thought about having our own chef, people barbecuing the hot dogs on the spot and then serve with some saute, onions, side cucumber, tomatoes. But we thought it's too much of a hassle. Leave it to the pro. Pay them, and then they can come and help us settle that part. So yeah, I got 小妹妹, 2 小妹妹. You won't be interested lah. I see already no appetite for the hot dogs. Actually, like also, don't even feel like eating after I saw them preparing it. Not that the food is not good, but the quality. No, anyway, that's a side. That's a side story. Yeah. So thanks for the feedback. And if you guys are interested to have something else, right? Let us know. I think they do have like popcorn. So if there are kids, we saw that a lot of players brought their family along. So we got a lot of kids. And I think having popcorn might do the trick for the kids, right? Hot dogs, they also eat hot dogs. So what I did was I ordered the hot dogs without the bun. I put 2 hot dogs in the plastic bag, add some cheese. I think it was pretty good. So you can also eat it without the bun. So they have ice cream as well. So popcorn, ice cream, and then I think they have Cheerios. Yeah. So these are the and kacang putih. Yeah. They can also set up a tea tarik store. So if you want like a store to serve tea tarik, they can do that also. Yeah. So if the participation rate is good, then next time we can also do some of these. I mean, have some free food. People can come along and pop by. Yeah. Even though we say it's free, I mean, of course, at the end of the day, we have to factor in whether or not the event can actually recover some costs, right? And then if we do have some of those sales, we meet certain target, then of course at some point we can consider all of these fringe activities, like fringe food. I think it's good, right? I think it's good. It fills my stomach as well. We actually bought lunch for the referee also. So the referee didn't really just eat the hot dogs. Of course, the hot dogs were there. They can eat the hot dogs as and when they want. But we thought since the referees are going to be in the field for a longer period, almost like the whole entire day, 7 hours of shift, no, not shift, but 7 hours of work in the field, right? They probably deserve something a little bit more solid. So we bought lunch pack for them and some breakfast as well. Yeah, but hot dogs were like the extra, nachos were the extra. I saw some of them eating, so it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So let us know in your feedback, right? Whether is it good or bad. And then of course from there we can adjust these events a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting for people to partake. Any comments other than just the food? I think food is always the lure. Everybody is like, oh, got food, wow, wow, let's go for the food. But of course, the food is not the only thing that is part of the event. A lot of other things like the organization of the event, having international teams to come, scheduling, for example, right? Yeah, King Kong Island. Yeah, that's right. King Kong Island is something that we are also thinking about. One of the things that we had an advantage earlier, right, when we were doing the King Kong Island, was that we had two branch running at that time. So we had a lot of equipment. We have a lot of equipment. But given that now we are all pulled into one venue, there are also limited equipment only. Then let's not forget Jimmy, right, had a big fire at his KTM resort, right? So it basically sold. I mean, like a lot of all his equipment were all burned into ashes. Yeah. So what we need to do is also make sure that at the time of running the event, if there's going to be another King Kong Island Part 2, then we need to have enough equipment to go around. And anything lesser than 100 players is not fun at all. So at least 50 versus 50, right, minimally. So that's something that we have been talking. In fact, we were planning for a building. I mean, I mentioned this earlier, right? We were thinking of going to a vacant 3-story building, for paintball event. But then COVID came, and then the whole entire was thrown out of the window. But King Kong Island is something that is always at the back of our mind. If there's an opportunity, if the interest is strong, then why not, right? Then why not? I mean, going to Batam is fun. Going to KTM Resort is more like a holiday. I would generally recommend people to arrange for these events more like a family vacation. So you bring your family along to the resort while you can go and play your King Kong Island, come back, and then you can still spend some time with the family. Anyway, you are in a resort, right? So what best to really sit there and just relax and sit back and enjoy the KTM scenery. Yeah, find abandoned school building. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was something that we were looking at before COVID. Jimmy mentioned a 3-story building. And then after that, we decided that maybe COVID came, and then it was almost impossible. So King Kong Island return, definitely, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so then we had some overseas team participating for this for the last event. So we had STK who were the eventual champions. I think they were the team to beat, right? Everyone was like going for them. I think Ho had a very good run during the qualifiers, and then Hellions did extremely well as well. Revivers was one team that I actually pay a little bit more attention to because of Hunter Buns, right, who added a lot of firepower into the game. And then they had Perel, and then of course not forgetting the rest of the other players as well. They had a pretty decent lineup, right? They have East, right? East came in to play for the team. Hazrul, and then they had Smoke High as well. So on the snake side, no worries, right? Then they have Mahfuz. Sheila was playing in the middle, made some fantastic kill. Khalid came in and killed everybody. So at that point, I thought they were a very strong team on paper, yeah, and at the same time more like an underdog because they don't. I mean, you can consider that it's the first time they are playing together. So in a way, you cannot guarantee that they are going to win. But on paper, that team was pretty brilliant. They had a solid lineup. I thought it was pretty well-rounded. Yeah, pretty well-rounded. They had tall players, right? Power very tall. They had short players, Sheila very short. They have fast players, Hunter Buns very fast, right? They have pretty disciplined players in the likes of Hazrul, and then Mahfuz, coming in as a second backup snake. So I thought overall, yeah, they had very round players. I mean, I don't want to mention names, but you know who is the round player that I'm talking about. Yeah, you can actually tag the guy in. Yeah, his name starts with the letter K. In case you are thinking he's Small Kai, it's not. Yeah, it's the other guy. Yeah. That one. Hey, what's up? What's up? Oh, hey, what's up? That guy. You know who he is. The guy who always You come to the field, like, what's up? What's up? Not gonna mention names. Heard his small little feelings here, you know. Yeah. So the one, this very sensitive fella, this guy. Yeah. IT college west abandoned long time ago. Government Singapore, I think a bit hard. Yeah, Singapore location. I mean, not to say that it's not a good location, right? But when you're dealing with Singapore government, right? Very very difficult. Yeah, very very difficult. So we try not to look out for Singapore location. Not unless, remember last time there was one time we did we did it at Fairway, right? So that was because our landlord was already giving out the place, so we knew the owners behind it, right? We knew the people who were behind this place, so there was a lot of confidence and trust. So we let that guy. So he let us smash the place out. So we went in, but any other than that, unless we do have a landlord who's very open to the idea, then why not? So one of the things that we're looking at, I mean, fingers crossed. I mean, all of y'all will have known, right? In the last few days, a lot of news about SLA taking back Turf City. So for sure, on the record, right, guys, there is no more extension, right? I mean, this one I've been telling y'all all this while. No more extension, no more extension. What we are hoping for the best only, right? So now that they have mentioned that there's going to be an MRT at the site of the Centaur Field, which is the rugby field just right in front of our place, I think that's almost like the end of it. It's like GG already, GG. No more talking about it, no more discussion, and things are pretty stagnant already. So because of that, then what we can do now, I mean, I've mentioned this many times. People have asked me at the field, is that we'll keep our eyes open, right? You'll notice that in the report, amazingly, it was reported that a lot of tenants are at this moment still unsure of where they are going, and that is because it doesn't make commercial sense to actually have a place that you are already looking at, and then at the same time operate here, right? Unless you want to do a major shift, but to do that, there's no commercial sense. One of the reasons because when we are into this lease agreement, right, we have to sign contract, right? So we have to sign contract to say that when we are going to end the lease. So of course now we have an existing contract with our landlord, and then if we were to move to another place, then you're talking about still having to pay for the agreement or whatever you have agreed upon. So the rental still have to run even though you have a new place. So it just doesn't make commercial sense. So what we will do is definitely we'll see our entire lease throughout all the way until the end of the last day when we can operate. And then from there on, who knows, we might smash the current RD, the current Turf City, tear down the whole, remember there was one time where we had the old RD big game. So we might do something like that. We might do something like that towards the end. Okay, smash the whole place. Because anyway, we're going to tear it down. And then, so do keep a lookout for that. If that's going to come up, right? That's going to come up for sure towards the end of the year. Then what's going to happen after this? I mean, it's everybody's guess. At this moment, nobody knows what's going on. We are not even sure that we are going to have a new site that's similar to what we have now in terms of size, right? I mean, we are very fortunate over the last many years. We are able to have a very big area that can allocate 2 speedball field and then a few of our smaller recreational field. But I think in Singapore, it's really, really very hard to find something similar. Our auto field in the past, before we did the Dynasty View revamp, we had a good place as well. But those were the developmental days of the speedball, right? So those were just suitable. You realize that most of the events were done outside of auto. But as soon as we were able to accommodate the 2 artificial turf field, and then the rest of it is like doesn't make much logical sense to go out there and still play in the mud. I mean, like you have seen some of the events that were held in up north, right? People are still playing in mud, starting at the starting frame with muds up to their ankle. I think cannot be the case, right? Cannot be the case. But even if you want to build a field at that spot, right, you just have to adjust the field a little bit. Then you avoid that spot. I don't know what people are thinking about. So, and maybe it's because of the rain. I'm not sure. Maybe the mud is the field is structured in such a way. I'm not sure. Maybe all these were taken into consideration. It's like the worst of the best choice, no choice already, then unfortunately the starting frame has to be situated at the area where there are most mud areas. But if that's the case, I mean, it is what it is, right? Sometimes you plan until count home over last minute, Murphy's Law, you also have to change because the rain can come in. Okay, so as we mentioned, Singapore Science Center open field, quite abandoned since aeons. Can survey how land lease is. Yeah, I think there's a soccer field there. Yeah, I know there's a soccer field there because when I was a teenager, my school happens to be there. So I'm from NYP, and then back in those days, Jehao, you're listening to this, you're still watching, right? Back in those days, NYP is considered under the French Singapore Institute, which is the reason why I started studying French. It started from there. Yeah, it started from there. So like, hey, how come Ben, you don't study German, study Japanese? How come you do French? Because when I was a teenager, it is compulsory for us to learn French. So it was back then that when NYP was still under the French Singapore Institute, and there were soccer fields there. So last time when I was playing, representing I used to play soccer, representing my diploma, my course for it's compulsory. Yeah, it's compulsory. It's not even elective, it's compulsory. Yeah, we have to do 1 full year of French, and then after that, if you are good at French and your results are like decent, then they make you go for second year and third year. So it's compulsory. First year is compulsory. Everybody has to go through. Yeah. So last time I was playing soccer there. So that field I think is still there. Yeah, it's still there. So but a bit hard. You know why? Because next to a hotel. Yeah. Next to a hotel. So anything that's next to a residential, right, it's very difficult. You notice all our paintball field not very close to residential, right? Not even close to residential. Yeah, and that's the reason, because residents will complain about the noise. Paintball field, first year fine, second year the paint start to how do I say, start to decompose. Then the paintball field starts to sting, right? A lot of our customers, how come your paintball field is so smelly one? I say, yeah, because the paintball decompose, right? And then and as things decompose, they sting. So after years of sitting on a location, right, then smell will come, and then residents will start complaining, and all that kind of funny things will come out. I don't want to say bullshit, but really bullshit, right? And these things are all unforeseen. After a few years, then you start to realize it becomes a problem. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult, right, for us to take smell away. I don't even know how. I mean, like if you go to Audi, you say, hey Ben, it's very smelly. Can you make it not smelly? Honestly, I don't know how. Maybe if you know of some ideas, right? Give me some comments. Yeah, give me some comments. Didn't realize our nose acclimatized. Yeah, I acclimatize. Not you. Me. Or Vincent. If Vincent is watching, it's Vincent. All right. So 11 of you are watching. Thank you so much. Actually, until now, we've been still talking about like chit-chatting, not really like talking about the product. So the main aim, which is what we intend to do every Sunday, right, is to basically talk about product. So for today, right, the product that we want to talk about is this mask here. It's called the HK Army SLR. So the one I'm holding here belongs to me. This is mine, my very own. I've used it in one event, and I find it particularly decent, right? One of the things that I like, I've used two HK masks. One was the chit chat, and one was chit chat. What did I say? Marco, you put chit chat, so I was the chit chat. So I saw the word chit chat. One was KLR. So KLR was KLR is the newer version. So the newer version, in fact, I just looked through the videos, right? KLR was 8 years ago when it first came out. So this mask SLR was almost 1 year ago. This, unfortunately, or fortunately, this is a 1 year old mask, right? HK keep coming out with things. The last time when they had an KLR was 8 years ago. This one was 1 year ago. So there are a few main differences. First thing first is this strap here, the chin strap is magnetic. So it's a magnetic chin strap. You can see it, magnetic chin strap. Right? So this magnetic chin strap. No need to buckle up, just put it close to where the other end of the strap is, and then this thing will buckle up on its own. Stick on like a magnet. There you go, can hear. Right? And then the other one that I particularly like is this back strap pad. So this padding, right, sits on the cranial, which is the contour of my back skull, right? So and then it corresponds to the cranial. So in a way, it's like added support, make it a little bit more secure, which I like it, right? Because it's secure, the mask quite sits firmly onto the back of the mask. So we have many different colors. We have gold, white, blue, midnight, current. And one of the things about this product review is that if anyone were to make a purchase during this time, right, I'm going to be here for at least about an hour and a half to 2 hours. If you make any purchase now, right, and then you commit to the purchase, then what you can get is you will get a 10% off the retail price. So now we are selling at $199.90. So $200 for this mask, a 1-year-old mask. And then you get an additional 10%, which works out to be $179, I think, right? So you take at least another 20%, $20 off if you purchase it during this time. So I'm going to do this every week. So every week I will be coming in, and in this small short 1.5 to 2 hours, I will offer out discount 10% off whatever the item I'm doing a review on. So if I'm reviewing on, say for example, I don't know, a paintball marker, then the marker is a 10% discount. Of course, I'm not going to do that, right? Maybe like a marker case, right, or a gun case, or a paintball tank, then you are going to get a 10% off the retail price if you commit to it now. So in a way, it's like additional discount. My aim, right, is to have this out to as many people as possible. Mainly for the players who are overseas, maybe, because I think right now we are Singapore-based. So and all of y'all here who came up today are all from Singapore. I haven't heard anyone from Brunei or Malaysia, right? So we do send it to you as well. We can send it to your country. And then if you're buying, right, this time here, you get an additional 10%. It's already written in the comments. Order a HK Army SLR goggle, and then you get an additional 10%, $179.90. Available in blue, red, midnight, white, and gold, and current. So we have like 6 colors available. So I've also done a comparison on the weight of the two masks. I'm going to share a picture here. So give me a minute. Okay, so you can see the picture here. So this morning, I went back to the office, and then I did a comparison. The picture on the left, it's a KLR mask. No, there's a SLR. That's a newer one. And then we have the KLR, which is the older version, which is the green color one. And both are sitting on a weighing scale. You can see that the weight is slightly different. One is almost about, I would say, 60 gram heavier than the other. So the 60 gram could be from the chin strap, 60 gram could be from the back support head pad. One of the reasons why I decided to do this comparison is for people to actually have a better assessment of the difference in the weight of the mask. So definitely, even though it's a newer mask, right, it's slightly heavier by 60 gram. I have also both masks here with me. So this is the new version. It's still in the box, right? And then I have the SLR, which is the lime green version that you see here. All right. So yeah. So for that, maybe I just take it out so that we can do like a quick comparison. Guys, at the same time, keep sending your comments out. I mean, this talking about product review is very boring kind of thing. But I know I need to do this. Because ultimately we are still trying to generate some sales. And then if we are able to generate sales, then why not, right? So I'm putting both masks side by side, and you can see the comparison between both. I have to tell you that one mask is slightly wider, the other mask is a little bit longer, right? So if you can see, I put that nose to nose, right? You can see that the SLR mask is longer at the edge. It's slightly longer, right? Nose to nose, you can see it's longer. So this basically helps to give a bit more protection for people with longer jawline, right? Some of y'all with longer jawline, when you put on a SLR, there were times where people were shouting, they said their mouth might be being exposed. So if you take a KLR, sorry, I mean an SLR, then this part of the portion of the mask basically gives you a better protection because it's slightly wider, longer, right? And then when it comes to the width, you'll notice, I don't know whether you can see or not, right? KLR is slightly wider, and then SLR is slightly more conform, slightly more conform. Maybe because this mask is new, that's why, right? Therefore, you notice that one is slightly wider than the other. So if you have a one, bigger head one, then you probably need this one. But if you have a longer jawline, like a banana boat facial jawline, right? I call it banana boat, a few people got banana boat facial jawline. Then you need this one. You need this. Okay, then you need this one. The other special thing I mentioned earlier, I just want to talk a little bit about that, is the extra head pad that's around the strap. So this strap pad gives you more stability when you put the mask on. All right. Whereas the KLR doesn't. It doesn't come with like a pad. It doesn't come with a pad. Okay, so that's about the two masks that we're talking about. In the course of selling the mask, I also have people asking me, so if you buy the mask, then does the lens actually fit onto one another? Yes, it does. So the lens is universal. So to prove it, right, I actually bought two different lens. One is the KLR, the other one is the SLR. Although the packaging is different, but you notice that the mask, right? The lens is actually the same. It's the same lens. So this means that even if you are already wearing a KLR, right? You want to change into an SLR, you don't have to buy a new lens. Your lens still can be reused. It's reusable, right? Because it's the same. It's the same kind of lens that you are using, right? So that's one good thing. You upgrade and then you don't have to upgrade the lens. So this product is by HK, and yeah, so that's all that I have to say about this both masks. All right, so if you're interested, share, like. I'm going to do this every week. So remember, every week, right? If we talk about a certain product and you like a certain product, you order it, you get a 10% discount. Okay, so help me to share this out to most of y'all who are already getting some split discount or sponsorship player and all that, right? The discount might not mean anything to you, but for those who are new to the game, not a split member, then this additional 10% can actually help them to save some money. So help us to like, share, subscribe to the channel, because every week from now onwards, every Sunday, I'm going to take a product, and then we're going to give some review about the product. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the vents. So you notice that the SLR has got limited vents over here. So this side, and then over here at the side, right? So when it comes to communicating, when you're projecting your voice wearing the mask, this SLR actually gives you a better voice projection because you can see the potting, right? Immediately when I hold both up, you can see the difference really. One has got more holes than the other, right? Yeah. So when it comes to voice projection, this is definitely a better choice. Yeah. So for $179, I think it's a very worthwhile mask to purchase. Even if you are buying it like a spare as a second hand, you can do so. Just want to go to our website as well. Let me see if I have the website on. No, actually I turned off the website already, but give me 1 minute. Okay, so I will share my screen, and then I will bring everyone to our website now. Okay, so if you go to our website, you can see that the product are here in such a way that you can, of course, go to the website and then type in SLR. You'll see all this product is $199 retail. So the price is already kind of listed there. right? Today you buy, you get another additional 10% with me right now on the spot. And these are the available colors that we have. One design for front. Sneaky, quiet. Yeah. So that's all that I have to share with everybody today about our SLR and KLR mask. You notice, right? For the 5 of you who are still here, when I talk about selling something, everybody's like gone. But for me, it's more like educational, right? Whether you buy or you don't buy doesn't matter, right? I'm going to create videos like this, short videos, 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and provide some discount for people. Chihok, can you, if you are still online, tell us how come you are not referring, or you're not referring because you have a, I mean, you part time already or not? Yeah, I don't know. So 9 of y'all, where are y'all from? Anyone from overseas or not? Anyone from overseas? Asmi said that the heaviest mask is the Sky Profit. Yeah, and the reason is because of the cushioning. Very good protection. All right, almost like soundproof. When you put it on, you realize already there's a lot of cushion there. That is actually I feel safe with wearing a Sky mask. Yeah, because of the cushioning that they have. Yep, that's right. General knowledge is something that I thought is good for me to provide. Like for example, using the same lens, one is a 8-year-old mask versus a 1-year-old mask. I think these are all good, very good information. Sharing about like the heat pads and all that, giving better support. Roy, how are you, man? Hey, Roy. I've been talking to Ama, right? So Ama is going to organize a tournament in December. It's going to be called the Invitation. The invite or the invitation. Have you heard about this? Or am I just telling you a secret that is not supposed to be known until much later? So there's going to be a tournament. Ama is working on it, and PVW is going to come in as a sponsor as well. So in some ways, we create a promo code, and then if you key in the promo code, the Bruneians will be able to enjoy a 10% discount. Yeah, enjoy a 10%. I know, man. Hey, this is paintball stuff. Of course, I know. Yeah, paintball stuff. I need to be in the know, right? I need to be in the know. Yeah, so I'm faster than you lah. Too bad, man. Faster than you. So yeah, I knew it a few days ago. A few days ago, Ama contacted me saying that he's going to organize an event, and then he's looking for people to come in and give support to the event. So I thought, why not lah? I mean, it's a good thing, right? First, new players from Brunei will be able to know more about Paintballers World. At the same time, we are able to sell our product across to Brunei. So win-win. I look at it as a win-win, and I'm always here for the win-win, right? So as long as everybody benefit, everybody can enjoy, then why not? So yeah, so we're going to sponsor the event. Soon you will see poster coming out. I've also created a Facebook post for him to post already. So there's a promo code, and it's only available for people who are residing in Brunei. I've done some setting, so it cannot be somebody from Madagascar or from Mongolia who want to come to me and ask me, hey, can I use the code for some discount? No, only for Bruneians only, right? So I've actually set the location to Brunei. Only Bruneians can use. So only if you are buying from Brunei, then you get the discount. Yeah, so very good. So help me to promote. Okay? Help me to promote. And I was told that you're going to come for the last event, like as a visitor, not playing one, but somehow you didn't show up. Yeah. Anyone else from overseas other than Mr. Roy Tam, our long supporter and friend who has not been who has not been in Singapore for quite a while already, since our last event. The 5-on-5 you were here, I know. 10 of y'all watching. Hello. Yeah, I'm too busy. Cannot make it. Yeah, when you're free, just come by. I mean, it doesn't have to be for paintball, right? You've come by so many times already. Just for makan only, you can also fly into Singapore. So why not? Anytime. As long as you're free, Doors are always open. You have a lot of friends here. We'll bring you around. So help us to like and share, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you can. You're in Sentosa, yeah, from overseas. Is it your staycation in Sentosa doing staycation? Wow, damn good, man. Hello, Mr. Amir from KL. Thank you for supporting the channel. I don't know, were you at the last event? The Sarawak event? I thought it was. I saw from the pictures. I thought it was very well organized. 2 fields, right? And then we had VWAXers coming in as the champion. I'm not sure, but is Waxers a Sarawak team? I saw a lot of Sarawakians playing. Yeah, we used to have a lot of friends from Sarawak long time ago when there was a Sarawak event. Yeah, in Kuching, right? Yeah, our captain, I'm sure you know him lah, Arthur Chan from Red Sevens, used to be the botak guy. He's used to be from Kuching as well. We visited Kuching, made some friends, but it's been a long time since we went back. Yeah, people are very friendly. Hospitality always at the top. I remember a lot of our Chinese friend brought us around the Chinese food. I think Sarawak is good for their Chinese cuisine. Yeah, another different culture altogether. Pulau Ubin. Felicia, you're in Pulau Ubin. Pulau Ubin also overseas. Consider. Are you still working or not? Now is not the right time to work already. Still in Pulau Ubin. Singapore team should have been represented. Yeah, actually, okay. So this is a story lah. I mean, I'll share with you lah. When I first knew about the Sarawak International Open, I think that was what it was being promoted as, right? Sarawak International Open. I was very keen to go. I was very, very keen to go on. So I wanted to actually bring a team there, right? I wanted to bring a team, but along the way, my plans changed. Personal plans. Yeah. So I had some something in me that I decided not to. Yeah, Sarawak Paintball Open, but I remember, I think it was in May. It was promoted as Sarawak International Open or something like that. Yeah. So unfortunately we didn't go. But I think moving forward, right? I'm not sure. I don't speak for all the Singapore teams, but yeah. Felicia said Wayne is at home. No, Wayne is in Pulau Ubin. Yeah. So I don't speak for all the Singaporean team, right? Because these days we have very, very good players. And back in those days, I think everyone just know about one team, Red Sevens, and because of the fact that we were traveling so many countries and playing so many tournaments, so everyone was like Red Sevens. Even up to today, I think you go to some of these older generation players, right? You tell them about Singapore team, they will tell you still the Red Sevens. But I can tell you, right, for those international players or friends who are watching, right, Singapore paintball is no longer only Red Sevens anymore, right? I mean, over the years, the scene has transformed in such a way that there are currently many good players from the Singapore community, right? I mean, just to mention a few, we have players from Hellions, we have players from Outlaws, we have players from Revivers, and some of these teams or these players are very, very decent players, right? In terms of their skill, movement, the knowledge that they have over the years, the countries they have been to in terms of representing Singapore paintball. The scene has already matured. You realize that because in the last event that we went to, it was more or less like a mixed team. We had players coming in from Outlaws, Hellions, Red Sevens. We combined the team, and then players were able to represent themselves in a very good manner, without the fact that, like last time, we were still learning, right? Of course, there were many stumbling blocks. I would say that we are the trailblazers. We paved the ground for the current group of players to venture beyond Singapore shores. We came back in with experiences that we had from overseas, and then we share with them. But I think over over this. Yeah, and Lanun, we had, I mean, young players from Lanun. I mean, let's not talk about Mustafa. Mustafa is the older generation. Like people are one Harrier, all these are older generation. They are like me, lah. We cannot longer play anymore. But the young players are really stepping up, right? We have Abuza, right? We have Kariel, we have Imad, and those guys, I tell you, they are definitely the future of Singapore. I can really see that already. So yeah. Moving forward, let's support each other irrespective of who we are biased to. Let's play, compete, and have fun. To be honest, if anybody know me, I'm not a biased guy. I support everyone. Yeah. If you talk about some other parties, I think people are biased. But me, no. I vote with almost everyone that there are in the paintball community. Yeah, I mean, just to name a few. I vote with TC Gun, right? I work with Wong Yong Wei, Awei. I work with Paul Lam. I work with David Gooch. I work with Kevin Wong. I work with anyone else beyond, even beyond these five guys. Last time KCHL we have Dennis, right? I work with Dennis. I work with anybody who are promoting paintball in a good light, which is why I think one of the reasons why until today I'm still around, yeah, because I in fact, if you go to Taiwan, right? I mean Taiwan. I'm not here to talk about politics or what, but Taiwan is like almost split already. There are two parties. One party running his own event, the other party running the other event. I also support both parties. Right? I think that's the way to go, If we want to grow paintball, I mean politics is the other, but growing the sport is what is most important. I mean that's the end of what we are doing, right? We are here to. We are part of the business, right? What if paintball fail? Who's the first person to fail? It's us, the people who are doing paintball. So what's the point of having divided? I don't know, man. I tell you, I'm almost like the most neutral guy already. Yeah, I'm almost like the most neutral guy, and I see the good and bad of everyone. I've heard bad things and good things about everyone. So when I come in and sometimes I joke around, it's actually in a very neutral and neutral, sitting on the fence kind of. I wouldn't take sides. I will say the good side about this guy. I will talk about the bad side of that guy. In my most frank opinion, having been in the industry for almost 16 years already. I mean, you're more senior than me. You will know about all this BS, right? But the thing is, at the end, we are all together, right? We're all together, because if paintball doesn't work out for us, who's the first to suffer is all of us. Hello, Amma. How are you, man? Amma sent me a box. I don't know what the box is for. Maybe it's a logo that the current StreamYard doesn't recognize. So Amma, hello, how are you? So Mr. Amir, tell us about your view of Singapore paintball. What do you think? I mean, you have seen us grow, right? Long time ago, when we were playing at Action Field, you were also part of the CMX team. I remember, right? And then I've always said this: if not for Red Sevens, there won't be. If not for CMX, there won't be Red Sevens, because long time ago, Dean Lau was the very first guy who coached Red Sevens without any biasness, right? When we were there at Action Field. On Sunday, we were like gundus, don't know what to do. Din Lao took us on and said, "Okay, guys, come and train with us." And those days we were playing with CMX, Division 3 only, right? We were Division 3, and we had such strong rivalry with CMX, right? Sometimes you guys won us, sometimes we won you guys, and then after that, even now, right? When I saw Hashidi, right, we were just talking at the last DOI event, like laughing and find that when we were young, we had all this stupid shit about having rivalry, angry with one another, and then but nowadays, when time just passes us by, when we look back, we thought those were a very childish thing that we had, and basically we all matured into our midlife already. I mean, in all honest fact, in all our 40 years old, if we are lucky enough, one of our foot are already inside the coffin already. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for that, man. I think Singapore is always moving forward, new blood. Yeah, that's what we are talking about. In fact, the last few years, because of COVID, we took a step back. I will always say this: Malaysia is still the hub of paintball, and I think everyone agree with me that when it comes to resources, when it comes to regulation, comes to field, comes to number of players, tournaments available, Malaysia is still the number one in Asia, right? So it is a waste that at this moment we are unable to pull everybody together, right? We are unable to pull everybody together for whatever differences that everyone has. I think for the future good, it will be always good to see a common light lah, because ultimately that's all what we want. I've also had to say this, if not for Mr. Paul Lam, right, one of my earlier mentor, if not for Paul Lam, we wouldn't even be where we are today, right? Because Paul has came in to give us pointers on how to run tournament, how to run a proper team, how to develop Singapore paintball. And I mean, it's most unfortunate that Paul is no longer in the scene anymore, but I've always respected him as an individual, just for the fact that when paintball was very new, he came in, and then he took on the role to try and gather everybody. And usually when you do that, right, of course people along the way doesn't really like you for the fact that everybody has their own different views and perspective. When we first started, it was also the same. When I first started doing paintball in Singapore, it was also the same. We had people who had different views as us. And of course we don't see eye to eye, sometimes we hate each other, we talk bad about one another. But at the end, after so many years, right, when we look back, we realize that, hey, those things are so immature. Yeah, it's basically just trying to move on and for the better good. Yeah, that's right. So for people like Amar is good. Amar in Brunei, he's the only field, got no competition. So Amar got no politics. Yeah. But everywhere else in the world where there's paintball and people have different views, surely there's politics. And I think all we need to do is just understand one another better. Yeah. Let me take a sip of water. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I agree. As business entity, there will be competition for sure, because the pool is only that much, right? I mean, if there are 100 teams and I'm organizing tournament this week, how many teams can join my tournament? And then if you're organizing in the same weekend, you're basically stealing from the same pie or the pool of resources. But I think if we look at it in a different light, right? What makes everyone different is the way that they organize their event. So if you're organizing the event in this manner, you have this format, then I organize another format, right? I organize another format. And then if you are unique from my event and some players prefer the way that this event is being organized, then they can join this event. If they prefer the way that is being organized, then they can join another event. I think the aim here is not to look at how many teams there are and try to attract the same number of teams, because that is a fixed number. Like let's say if you have 100 players or 100 teams, that's a fixed number. What you should be looking at is the variable. The variable would mean that looking at how you can change and make your event unique to the 100 players or 100 teams, and at the same time grow beyond that 100 teams. If I'm a league that focus on rookie events, maybe, right, rookie events, then I know for sure that they are going to take the path of playing as a rookie team, and then they're going to go D4, D3, D2. So I create stages for them to grow, and it can come in the way that there's a promotion, there's a demotion. And I think those are important. The other way that I feel, if as an organizer, we should not focus on just teams playing, but instead what we should do is we should support the teams in terms of like profiling the teams. I mean, right now, right? I mean, one of the most unfortunate thing that I have to say is, if not for me being in this industry for a long time, people know, oh, Ben Xiao from Singapore, Ben Xiao from Singapore. But I tell you, if you were to go around and ask, can you name me like 5 players from Darkside? Let's say I go to a Singaporean and I ask Singaporean, hey, name me 5 players from Darkside. They'll be like, huh, Darkside? I heard about the team name, is a good team, but I cannot name you 5 players. I think that is what is lacking. And if we are talking about 5 guys from Dynasty, everyone can say, oh, we have Josh Rao, Alex Reggie, we have Marcelo Margot, we have Ryan Greenspan. I mean, we can name them because they are professionals. But we cannot put a name to the player, even though that team is very, very strong. Unless you are in that same industry, right? So unless I'm playing in the same division. One of the most important thing that we have missed out is the profiling of players. Because why? The lower division players always look up to the higher division players. I mean, if I'm Division 4, I'll look up to Issei and say, hey, one of these days, I want to be like Issei. I want to be like Awe, right? And I can't do that because I don't know who these guys are. So it's important for the organizers to actually profile the players and make them superstar of your league and your event. And that creates a very unique proposal for the players to join, because they know that, hey, if you promote Issei as the good player, right, the superstar, I'm now in Division 4. 2 years from now, I'm going to be like him because I want to pursue that Division 1 status. And then ultimately, he's going to join your league and stay in your league for a long time because he can see that path for himself to become a D1 player in the next 2 years. And he knows that if he reached that level, the league is going to support him by promoting him as the superstar of the league. I think this is, profiling is important. So another one is players should not be involved in their competition. Yes and no. Is very difficult at this time because, like for me and Jane, we take turns. Long time ago, for the last 12 years, I think I never played a single tournament in my whole entire life in Singapore because of the fact that I'm running a SPS event. You look through the record, I've never played in my own event. Because I know that at one point, right, someone is going to come and then challenge me and tell me that, hey, are you supporting your team or are you the game organizer? And when it comes to that, it becomes very bad. So, but it's so sad that I cannot participate in my own event. So I joined the smaller events like the 3-on-3. I joined the smaller events like the Friendship Cup. But at the same time, it wasn't until towards the end of the last 3 years, I say, that we started joining our own event, because we know our days are numbered, and that if we don't join our own local events, we will never be able to join our own local event and have that kind of feeling, and we don't want to miss out on that, right? So maybe, which is the reason why we decided to take turns. So Vincent is sometimes playing, I'm playing, Jane is playing, but it will never be a case of all of us are playing. And if we don't play, then it is just organizing. And if we play, it's very clear that we are just a player, right? And we of course follow to the rules of the game. And when it comes to dispute, we will never be there to argue or justify the reason for a wrong call or where this is the right call and things like that. Yeah. Different tournament have different format and methods, cannot compare. Yeah, that's right. That's why you have to be unique. Because if you are not unique, like the Super Sevens, very unique to me, right? Very unique because it's a 7-man game. Gooch 10-man game, very unique to me, very unique, right? The event that you guys are doing at Bangi, where you had the artificial turf, that is a very unique event. If I'm a player who prefers artificial turf for a reason, because when I'm sliding and diving, it keeps me safe, right? I don't have to run into a muddy area where it's going to jam my movement, impede me from moving forward. Then I would 100% join the artificial turf event for all the events because I want to keep myself safe. So I think that is unique on its own. One of the most important thing at this moment is for the organizers to find out the unique thing about what they want to be, how you want to portray yourself as the unique event, right? Like Super Sevens, 15 balls per second, right, in Sydney, Australia, and no one else does that. So if you want to play in the 15 balls per second game, then you have to go to the Super Sevens, Australia, right? Because they are the only one who's organizing that, right? So so that's the unique proposal that everyone should have. Yeah, profiling using media. That's right. Very important. I think we are matured already. We are very mature already in Asia. We are now at a point, right? And I can tell you that it's so funny, right? It's so funny. You know why it's so funny? The paintball community is so huge. We have thousands and thousands of players. I'm sure someone, right, is in media. Definitely, right? We have seen all these our media friends, right? The only thing is everyone is doing it because they feel that there is no benefit of me doing it. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we are all humans, right? We always think of, what's the benefit of me if I do this? What do I gain out from this? I mean, it's true, right? for me, sometimes I also think that, hey, what is it in for me, right? But the point is, when you think about what is it in for me, then it's very difficult to contribute, right? So for all those who have been in the industry for a long time, I send this message out. If you want to see paintball doing well, whether is it from the media side, videos, profiling of players, someone has to do it. Someone has to take up the shit job, right? Someone has to do the free job. And then when it's free, then you have to think of how then you can commercialize it and make it into something that can be monetized and profitable for you, right? And slowly that can take place, right? Slowly that can take place. Yeah, Malaysia, yeah, like Malaysia's Super 7 is semi-uncapped. Yeah, it's good. Who has the fastest fingers? I remember a long time ago when I first started playing paintball, we all had it. And then iPhone came out, we had an app. You can download the app and then you have to go and tap your finger and see who has the fastest. That's my photo of my daughter. So you can tap your finger and see who has the fastest finger, right? At that point, I think people were going like 24 balls per second, right? Nowadays, ballers cannot run the gun with two fingers. If you see anybody holding the gun, running the gun with two fingers, those are the lao jiao one. Because the newer players cannot, they find this not they cannot coordinate two fingers. Yeah. So if you are a new player and you want to join the Super 7s, then your fingers got to be good, man. Got to have who has the fastest fingers. Yeah. We used to have an app where we challenge one another. I remember at one point somebody went 24 balls per second, and the highest I heard can go up to 28 balls per second. Yeah, those were the amazing days. 28 balls, xiao. Yeah, they walk the trigger very, very fast. More than 15 balls per second. How to shoot 20 balls per second? I really don't understand. So yeah, man, guys, thank you for tuning in. Our friends from Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, thank you so much. Rubber band, yeah. We even put rubber band. We tie a rubber band and then we just like stretch. Actually, no use because the finger got no muscles. Finger has got no muscles, so you can't train like finger muscles. So I'm not sure if that was something that is like useful lah. We think it's useful but I don't think so. I have people tapping on the table every time, do nothing, right? Tap, don't know tap for what also. Yeah. But for the guys, train your fingers. Legit, okay? Legit. Yeah. Have bend, some got boulder rock, got muscle scary. Really? Oh, huge fingers. I think not huge fingers. It's the, what do you call it? It's like if you do too many pull-up, then you have this thing. And then if you do a lot of rock climbing, because your fingers are so accustomed to the formation, right? Then you bleed and then the skin came off, then new skin grow into it. Then it gets thicker and thicker, right? And then that's why you see some of their hands are like super huge. Yeah, but I don't think it's the muscle. I really don't think it's the muscle. Yeah. Ama, you know what I mean? Yeah. We know lah. Yeah. So you see, the funny thing is, when I've been talking about all these things, nobody chip in. Then when I talk about the two fingers very fast, everybody comment, foreplay lah, ha, tapping lah, band lah, everything start coming in. These guys are really, let's not make this a sexual thing, This is just like this is a product preview that I actually talk about a KLR and an SLR mask. My aim is to try and maybe make one sale or send this out to a new player. Not so much of going into the that direction now. That can be for another show that I will have, right? And then it will be very funny, I'm sure, right? But for now, this is not that kind of show, right? So just keep it to eating the real hot dogs, right? Just now I say about hot dogs, we have free hot dogs at SPS. People say, long, huge ones, right? Juicy, German hot dog, or the Chinese got lap cheong and all that. Then we talk about fast finger. Then people, how do you pronounce this? That's right. Yeah, how do you pronounce this? Zahid, Colossus. Yeah, Colossus. Singapore Arbing was that? God uses America's calluses, right? And then the English calluses. So I don't know. Yeah, but I think that's the actual spelling. Yeah, calluses. Waiting for next show. What show? Next show is ping pong show already. Ping pong show is okay. Hey, actually, come to think of it, what if next time I just put in like what do you call it, a clickbait title, Ben doing ping pong show. Then the first 5 seconds is me like flipping ping pong using my hands, and then I say tiger show. Then I'll wear like a tiger suit, then flipping ping pongs. then, then you can come in like, what the hell? Yeah, then maybe then it won't generate 8 viewers. Maybe it will generate like 4,500 viewers or more. Yeah, join Rojak Sunday. Wow, Roy Tam. Hey, by the way, anybody wants to come online? If anybody wants to come online, I think I'm done with selling product. That one is the boring stuff. But I'm going to do it every week. So just be sure, join me for this session. Anyone who buys a product gets a 10% discount of the product that I'm doing a product review, which is the SLR for today, right? So still talking about this product. But if anybody wants to come online, I think this is the best way to chit chat and talk some BS about paintball, which is quite interesting actually. Yeah, I got a lot of things to say about paintball. Paintball has made my life, and at the same time, it has ruined my life. Okay, let's put it that way. Yeah, it has. For those who are in the paintball industry, if you are living off earning paintball money like myself, Ama maybe, right? You know that paintball has made your life in a sense that you enjoy doing what you're doing, right? So a lot of people say, hey, wow, man, you enjoy what you're doing there. A lot of my friends, right, from uni, from poly, my students, they say, hey, man, wow, you enjoy what you're doing, wow, you playing paintball at the same time can earn money, wow, steady, yeah. Then I said, okay, try doing that for like 16 years, right? Try doing that for 16 years, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't go too well. I mean, people get burnt out, right? Once in a while, I get burnt out. Like quite recently, I got burnt out also, right? Which is why I'm keeping myself off Facebook, because I see all the news paintball. Everything is paintball, and my mind is all clouded with paintball, and I decided to take a break from paintball also. Yeah, professionally and personally. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree to it, right? I think a lot of people can speak like how I do, right? When I first started playing, we were just playing in Malaysia. 16 years down the road, I've traveled to more than 20 cities, countries, you name it. I've more or less been there already to play paintball. I mean, that's one thing that has totally changed my life. The fact that we travel to other countries also allow us to appreciate religion and culture from other countries, right? You've been to Bangalore to play paintball. You've been to Chennai to play paintball. Never, right? Have you been to Russia, Moscow to play paintball? I tell you, over the next 5 years, no one else will go to Russia to play paintball. I've been there already, been there, done that. Been to the Red Square already, right? I've been to Holland already, smoked some ganja there also. Go down to Australia, play some paintball, watch some kangaroo play paintball, right? Go to US, right? New York, Florida. I've been to Miami just for paintball. And if not for paintball, right, I've never been able to travel across all these countries. But more importantly, traveling to these countries is one thing, because everyone can travel, right? Right? Everyone can pay money, buy an air ticket, travel around the world, 365 day travel, 80 days around the world. But to have paintball friends from each of every country that you have been to, I tell you, that is like, I would never imagine. My previous job, I work as a teacher, right? I teach. I never imagined that I would know people from Taiwan, right? If today I have something that I need from Taiwan, I can talk to people from Taiwan. If I need something from India, I can talk to someone from India. If I need to talk to somebody from South Africa, I have friends in South Africa. I want to talk to people from Australia, I have people from Australia that I know, right? I want to talk to people from Russia, I can talk to people from Russia, talk to people from US, of course, a lot of my US friends are there. So paintball has totally changed, not only just my my view of the world, but make me more international to understand that people can have differences, and of course appreciate their different culture. Right? How many people can say that they have traveled to so many places and know people from across the world? So if there's anything good about paintball that comes out from my time doing paintball, I think the travel part of it, that has to be the number one, right? The time that we spent on the international airport, the lounges, sleeping on the roadside, right? With missing flights in Langkawi, I missed my flight twice. Okay, rebook the flight, right? Know about which airport can rest, which airport cannot rest. Go to Japan, can still wash your backside there while doing the transit. You know, a lot of all these things. I mean, how many people can say that? So if there's one good thing, I say this is one good thing. So Ama, you probably have come to Singapore. If not for you coming to Singapore, I don't think I'll bring you for the durian thing that we did, right? And trust me, if you venture yourself out beyond just Brunei, Singapore, Malaysia, or at least the neighboring country, there are a lot more things that we can do all over the world. Yeah, I miss my flight. Yeah, I miss my flight. I remember I missed my flight because I was happily drinking away and being wasted in Langkawi. Yeah, and then when I woke up, I was not there, and then of course I have to pay extra money. But the good thing was having missed that flight makes me appreciate Langkawi even better. Because why? Half the time when we are playing in Langkawi, we all crowded around the hangars, right, at the place, and the schedule was like crazy. You play one game in the morning, then after that you break for like 6 hours, then you play another time. So because of that, we couldn't really travel around Langkawi. But having missed my flight on that day, we actually went around Langkawi. So we took the cable car, we went to the waterfalls, and then we went to another seafood restaurant. I ate ostrich. Was it ostrich meat? Yeah, ostrich meat. I ate ostrich meat in somewhere in Langkawi. So those were like amazing, right? Yeah. So missing the flight, when you miss something, you lose something, then you gain something back. That's life. Life is always like that. Yeah. Sheila says, play paintball. Oh, wait. Play paintball in Japan. Fingers. Yeah. I mean, you played paintball in Japan, right? Fingers frozen. And you did Moscow as well. You guys went to St. Petersburg. If not for paintball, will you go to St. Petersburg? No, right? I'm sure. Why? I mean, what's the reason for you being there? For tour. I mean, there are better places to go to, right? But because of paintball, you went to St. Petersburg. Yeah. Oh, Paul, how are you, man? Paul, you're here also. Amir say Brunei team should be more active in tournament circle. Or I have to give the credit to Lakeside Jokers, because Lakeside Jokers, in the likes of Ainafi, Jujai, the rest of the gang, right? I think they did their part to represent Brunei by representing Bruneians across Southeast Asia. And not only that, went to the last Millennium Series. I was there with them. That was where we met Jack the Sparrow guy. And I got to tell you, when they were there, they actually won an award. They won an award, right? So Lakeside Jokers in the Millennium Series, last event of the Millennium Series, last event. Imagine Millennium Series not going to come back. The whole European League Millennium Series was the best league, right? So in the last event, they went there and they won. Sorry, my nose is very itchy. They won an award, and I think it's Fair Play Award. And they represented Asia, so that was amazing. They came to Singapore. They are one of the big fans of Singapore SPS paintball. They went to Malaysia, right? And even though, and one good thing that I have to really appreciate, one good thing is, even though they are unable to have their own markers in their own country, they managed to travel around the world with the markers. Even though they have no markers, no marker ownership in Brunei, they managed to travel across the world to play paintball. Imagine the kind of effort that they have put in, the kind of contribution, the will to really try and do this. I tell you, I have to give it to them. Yeah, it's like hurdle after hurdles and after hurdles. Paul says, I gain you band as a family. That's a plus. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, when I know Paul was just a teenager, so young, so fresh, no mustache, right? Now this guy is old already, got his own family, right? It's more stable. I mean, we have all promoted from being teenager to uncles already. You are one of the uncle. You're one of the uncle. Actually, I started paintball quite late. I started paintball at the age of 27. Yeah, that was late already. I played a lot of basketball. I used to play some soccer on and off, but basketball was my main sport. I still playing basketball on the weekend. But when I started paintball and when it became a business and I actually like the game, I like the game to the point that I can strangle people, shout at people, being so passionate about the game, right? So you can see like it's like at the age where you go crazy about the sport already because the will to win is so hard, right? That that I got crazy. Yeah. So same as Paul, when Paul started, you were a young boy. I remember when I first met you, you were helping the Red Sevens at the pits. And then I saw you being so helpful and you were trying to learn about the game. You know what happened on that day, right? After the event, right? I gave Paul one furious barrel. I gave him a barrel because he was so onto the game. He was so keen in playing the game. And I hope that that barrel could actually inspire him to continue to play paintball. And yet, indeed, he did. Right? After so many years, he's still playing. Even for grade 7 as our teammate against him as an opponent. I mean, when we look back, these are the days. I always tell Kiko, right? Most of y'all will know Kiko. I always tell Kiko, after having fought each other for so long, I do see ourselves at the end of our time, right? Maybe not now, we're still too early. Maybe end of our time, maybe in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time, when we can still walk, we can still joke, we can still talk, we can still have good memories, right? We'll sit around and then we just, I mean, of course, not for the Muslim, right? We'll hang around, have some satay maybe, take some beer, and we'll talk about the good old days. Yeah, surely those things are going to come. Yeah, and I was in Amsterdam with the ladies. Yeah, that's right. Lately and soon, the Bruneian teams are participating abroad. Yeah, they should. Yeah, open their eyes to wider things, bigger perspective. You should bring Spectrum to Singapore or even Malaysia one of these days, right? Enjoy some of the strong currency that we have right now. Go to Malaysia and enjoy. Yeah, really enjoy. You get some really good food, good stay. Yeah, but coming to Singapore, same currency, 1-to-1. So you will see more of a change. But going to Malaysia, you see a lot of different things already. Yeah. Good to see teams getting active back in the paintball scene. Yeah, slowly but surely. The unfortunate thing is that even though there are events running, honestly, I'm hoping that Acha can come back. Right? Acha, if you're watching, I hope you can I hope that you can run some international event because Acha is also very neutral, right? Acha is also very neutral. And Acha has been a very, very strong supporter of paintball. I mean, a lot of players and teams have benefited from his generosity, right? Whether is it through sponsorship of the team, registration, paints, uniform. I mean, we have heard this so many times, right? And I believe coming in from a neutral ground, maybe even not for me, even I say I'm neutral, but maybe even not for myself, because Singapore is a very expensive country. I cannot expect everybody to come into Singapore, stay in the Singapore hotel, and then eventually pump up the whole entire expenses. I hope you can do that. I hope so, but I'm sure not everyone can do that, right? Because of the currency exchange. But Acha holds that key right now. Acha holds that key because of the fact that he has been on a neutral ground for so long. And if he's able to gather everybody and organize something that is for the win-win of everyone, I hope everybody can support him. I seriously hope everybody can support him. Not only just for paintball, but also because of the fact that he's a very good person in that sense that he support teams out of his own pocket. Not many people are that generous. Okay, not many people. My team has not gotten any beneficial in terms of money from him. So I'm not speaking on the point that I've taken something from him. So let's just be very clear. But as a person, as someone that I've known for years, he holds the key right now. And I hope that one day Acha is going to come in and say, okay, guys, I'm going to organize this. Work with me, all right, and let's go. And at that point, I hope everyone can send him. Everyone can send him just for the good of paintball Asia, right? Just for the good of paintball in Asia. I think right now, right, if you ask me another question, I asked myself another question, which I think is very interesting to share. If you tell me 2-3 years ago whether or not Asia forms a strong base for business expansion, I said yes, because things were growing, right? Remember when Malaysia was still growing with 100 teams for tournament, 200 teams, big events, Langkawi event, everyone was like, hey, what's going on, man? Why is there this big market that we are not taking control of? So at that point, you can see a lot of these Western companies coming into Asia to support, to throw money, to try and get Asia going. Because after growing their own pie at their own country or at their own region, they realize that they need to expand. And Asia being one of the up and coming, right, with that many teams, right, they were willing to come down and pump in those resources. But I can tell you after COVID, things changed, right? Because of the fact that things have gotten a little bit more expensive when it comes to shipping. That's for sure. When it comes to traveling, people don't want to travel anymore because of COVID. In fact, during COVID, where things are very in-house, like people cannot travel, paintball in US actually turned around and got better. And because of the fact, right, that they have gotten better, it leaves very little room for people to think about expanding overseas, because over here we are really doing so well. Why are we spending money overseas to grow whatever that's there? It's so far away from us, 24 hours away, 16 hours of flight away. Why are we growing that pie? Why don't we take the same amount of money and then we focus on whatever we are doing here in our own country? So that's what they are doing now. And this is a loss to us, for sure, right? Because lesser resources, right? I mean, lesser people coming in to look at this potential growth of the Asia market. And this is where I feel that we cannot rely on anyone else except for ourselves. If there's anything that we need to do, we can only rely on ourselves, right? And we have to rely on ourselves to the point that we are able to grow the sport so huge, right? That the Masales, right, the Westerners, turn their head and say, oh shit, these guys are coming back and they are uniform, they have this big thing running, and we need to come in and be part of this. At this moment, I feel that over the last 2 years, things have taken a step back. Yeah, for sure, 100%, things have taken a step back. And I hope that in 2023, things will change. 2022, a bit shaky because we were just in the midst of COVID, transiting into our normal lives. But in 2023, when things change, I hope everybody step up to the game. I hope that there will be more interesting things that can change and turn the world of paintball around. And let's not go back to the old days, right? One thing that I've always said is we always need to progress, we always need to change, which is why for my event, for our event in Singapore, I always try to do different things. Sometimes one man, one-on-one, we have the all-star game, we have the 7-man, we have a 3-on-3, 5-on-5, race to 3, race to 2. I keep changing because it creates different excitement. But if things becomes the same thing over and over and over and again, I mean, you can do 100 events, but if the 100 events are all the same, sooner or later people are going to get bored and things are going to die off. So that is not going to help paintball to grow. What we need excitement. We need to grow personality into the game. People need to know who that organizer is. Who is this guy? What is he doing? What is his aim? What is his objective? What is his aim? What is his motto? These days, right, things are so transparent. I mean, like now that I'm doing with you, telling you my views of how I think Paintball Asia should grow cannot happen on our normal days, because on normal days we are so busy playing paintball, right? It's these days peacetime, right? That I can share my views, and hopefully this goes across in the form of media to everybody. If anyone who's interested to find out, they can actually watch this media and then they can interact. That's where the interaction comes in. And if they know me well enough, then they know what kind of person I am, then hopefully they will support my event. And I urge all event organizers to do the same. Not just, oh, let's organize an event and then, there's very little interaction. When your objectives are not being told, or your motto are not being spread, you don't have like a slogan where you aim this, you project that this year we start with 10 teams, but at the end of the year we want to have 30 teams. When you have no goals, right, and you're just running an event, eventually this is going to die off. Because we're always looking forward, right? We're always looking at better, progressive, moving things that can grow, and that's human nature. Nobody wants to like go back down. Will you want to go back down if you have driven a Ferrari? Now you want to go back and drive I don't know, maybe like a Honda, or not that Honda, not good car. I'm driving a Honda anyway, but if you understand what I mean, right? You stay in a big bungalow, right? 10 rooms, then suddenly now you want to go back to a 2. Very difficult, very difficult. So it's in our human nature to always want to progress, grow, and move forward. Likewise, for the teams, they are also thinking that way. The teams want to move. They want to know how they can get sponsorship. They want to know how they can get better deals. Used to be a point, right, where we tell people, hey, you can sign up for a sponsorship, exclusive. But I tell you, all this exclusive thing to me doesn't mean anything. Because why? Today I can be exclusive with you, next day I can be exclusive with the other guy, next day. So honestly, no such thing as exclusive, right? So you can see over here, my comment also put exclusive for viewers only. So is it exclusive? Yeah, maybe for those guys who are coming in, but actually, as I'm selling it, I will also offer the 10% discount to my split players. I will also offer to my sponsored teams the 10% discount. So is it exclusive? Yes. In a way, it's the way where we promote this. Things are so transparent these days. Everything is by a click of a media. Last time you don't know who's the organizer, click. Now you know it. You don't know what's the objective, click. If there are a few things that we can change, this is what we need to do. Organizers, you're listening to me. First, improve in the playing condition. Playing condition got to go. Bad playing condition got to go, right? Because our game has to be able to run rain or shine, right? If it's raining, you got to go. You got to run an event. Cannot delay, and then eventually participants come in and then tell them that, hey, look, sorry, the rain delay, the field is muddy, and then you favor one team against the other. No, field condition. Because when the player feels safe, then they want to play the tournament, right? Second, professionalism. Create a website at least, right? I always have my website on, even though it costs me a few $100s a year. I always put my website on, even though nobody come and visit my website. I'll put my website on. Website is important because that's the main only place for people to find information where they can learn about your event, right? So it's just, although as tough as it may sound, it's just one off. Do it properly and then leave it there and then done. Second, always create feedback, because a channel for feedback. Channel for feedback doesn't mean quarrel. Quarrel is also feedback, right? Because you quarrel, then you know how to do better, right? But I think long time ago, when we first started, we always have, if those guys from Singapore, you remember, we always have a community of players and organizers who will come together to talk about what will happen if certain decision cannot go, and disciplinary action. For example, like if a player is getting too hot-headed, like in the case of me, right? Sometimes I get too hot-headed, but I do this to my own team only. But if it's opposing team against another opposing team, and people get angry with one another, is there a disciplinary community to handle this situation? Are we able to ban players in a good light? And the decision doesn't only come from the organizer, but also it comes from players. And who are these players? They have to be appointed. They have to be appointed. Maybe some senior players from the team, from certain teams that have been playing already. and then maybe one junior guy, maybe another head ref, come together, 4, 5, 6 guys, decided on one decision, so that it's a concentrated decision. And why is that important? Because everyone is finger pointing. Everyone is like to point finger. If something goes wrong, oh, that organizer, oh, that ref, oh, that player, oh, that team. These things cannot happen if it's a consolidated effort, right? There's no one to blame. You want to blame one party, you're blaming everyone else. You're blaming the organizer, you're blaming the players, you're blaming the referee. But when it's a consolidated effort coming from all different sources, who can you blame? You cannot blame, but it's only to blame yourself, right? Because your team gives this opportunity to create a controversy decision. I always say this: if a team is so good, right, and win at a very high point, 2-0 or 3-0, you will never leave chance for all this controversial. So you can only blame yourself. You're just not good enough. You're just not good enough. I always take this up. You're just not good enough. Because you create controversial for yourself. Oh, the referee is not good. Referee give me lousy refereeing. Therefore, you blame the referee. Oh, organizer screw up the fixtures because there's heavy rain, or things like that. But again, I'm speaking from a player, right? I've been a player for 16 years. I've been an organizer for at least a decade already. So I'm coming from both sides. So website, good field playing condition, professional league, and many others. I mean, I'm just at the top of my head. This player profiling I've spoken about this. Player profiling, I think that's very important. Players need to know who they are playing against. I mean, I'm playing against that team. I know about who's in that team, who's that guy. Because when you start to build relationship, right? When I know that player better, for example, I'll give you a good example. Maybe me and Eric Tai from Dark Side, right? Say, for example, Red Sevens against Eric. And then we went into a situation where we cannot agree. But because I know Eric as a player, I know Eric as a person, then when it comes to a dispute, I know and understand how he's going to handle it, right? And then we end off in a very professional way, rather than I don't know that person, so what's it in for me? I'll just whack him. I don't care. It's because I'm going in for my team. But when you profile someone, that's where people will start to take notice. And then certain form of respect are subconsciously created. Right? Because that guy is good enough, that's why he's being profiled. There's some proper history. We used to do that long time ago. Then that's where we also have our All-Star team, right? To be able to qualify for the All-Star team, you have to be of good nature, right? There are some guidelines. You have to be of ambassador of the game, right? You have to be. So it doesn't mean that you're good in paintball. Remember, there was one time ED got selected, popularity vote, right? Because people like him. So as an individual, he's ED as a ref, he's a referee. He got selected to be the All-Star also, SPS All-Star, and then he played, right? And those were the things, right? So, I mean, I've shared a lot already. I hope all this can be some things that for discussion. For discussion. 8 of you are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. 1.5 hours already. I think I've spoken so much that I'm also a bit tired already. Anything else that anybody wants to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to summarize this. Guys, we are going to sell the SLR goggle. It is way better than the KLR goggle. Right now, $179.90. Share this out with as many people as possible, because let people make use of this chance to save some money. This thing is going to be something that I'm going to do every Sunday. I'm going to bring out a product, talk about a product, and then hopefully at the end of the day, make some sales. If not, then let this session be a knowledge and education session where I share my product knowledge with everyone on the item, so that you make a better decision when it comes to buying a product, right? Doesn't have to be from me, can be from anyone else, but the thing is basically just educate. Okay, so anyone else who's still watching, give me a shout out, and then I'll say bye-bye to you, and then we'll call it a day. If there's any burning desire, like strong questions that you guys want to know or want to put up for discussion, maybe the last 15 minutes. Okay, looking forward to 2023. I bet it's going to be awesome. Yeah, we have some good plans, right? I've been talking to my team already. We did a list of feedback that came from the players, some of my personal observation, and I can bet with you 2023 is going to be definitely better, for sure, 100%, because 2022 was a bit of like go, no go, no go, go kind of thing. So 2023, we know that the pandemic is very much in control. We know that we're going to play around with the whole entire year. So we will be able to put in better plans. Teams will be able to plan earlier for the event. And I also hope that next year we're going to do a big event, right? And when I mean big, I'm hoping to see at least 20 teams coming to Singapore to play in our event. And if possible, right, 30 teams, so that we can open up the other field, the other artificial field, and we run both artificial field at the same time. And we can't do it alone. We need players from Malaysia, from Philippines, to come into Singapore. We don't have enough refs, so we're also hoping that more refs can come in and support our event. Keep up the good work. See you in the 50s. Yeah, man. Not in the 50s. I cannot already. Maybe see me at the end, at the starting base, at home. Yeah, at home. I'll be there. Okay, I want to be like Khalid in future. Yeah, everybody wants to be Khalid. Khalid, he likes to do this. Dates for 2023. Yes, it's coming. It's coming. I can't give you a specific date at the moment, but I can tell you for sure we are planning it to be in March, June, and September. Okay, March, June, and September. September 1 for sure. All right, Amma, see you next Sunday. Take care. Yeah, take care, man. Have a good one. Have a good rest after being at the field for the whole day. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll say my piece with everybody. Have a good night. Rest well. Sweet dreams. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.